Today on the Hire Me podcast, I have with me Jonathan Akinwale, who is a business development professional. Let's jump right in and learn how Jonathan could be your next great hire and professional connection. Jonathan, welcome to the Hire Me podcast and tell us all about yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Jonathan Akinwale. The last name, believe it or not, means the brave one who came home, for those who are wondering. The indigen, or the origin rather, of that name is native to the Yoruba tribe, native to Southwest Nigeria. So I have a Nigerian father, for those of you who are curious where the name came from. And my dearly departed mother, her family was from Alabama. So that's just a bit about my personal background. And professionally, I come from a customer service background, specifically in retail pharmacy. My last role was as a registered pharmacy technician, and I was there about 6 years, rose up in the ranks, became a senior tech, and worked right through the height of the pandemic up until last November when I left. Now, my reason for leaving was because I had did everything there was to do as a tech. Basically, the only thing left for me to do was to go back to school to become a full-fledged pharmacist. And quite frankly, I don't have 6 years of my life at this time to, commit to do that. So now I am looking to pivot into the tech sales space.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for giving us a little bit more background on not even just like your going beyond your professional experience, but also your origin story. I love hearing these stories. And, as you're going into that tech sales space, tell the people who are watching or listening more about the type of roles that you're looking for.
Well, I'm looking for something within the hospitality realm, maybe in the business travel realm. I am a big aviation geek. I've been to about 21 plus countries thus far, and I'm hoping to cover all 195 before taking my last breath. So I would love to end up in the hospitality, business travel space, somewhere in there.
That's fantastic to hear. And with all of that, you say you're an avionics geek a little bit. What is it about, business development and sales that you really love?
Well, it's the connection to people. I really enjoy the service aspect, if you will, of sales. At my last job, they gave me the nickname Ace due to my ability to connect with the really, really tough customers, if you will. And of course, my ability to be able to upsell just about anything that we were selling over the counter. So if we had a special on Motrin that week, I always said, hey, we're having a special this week. If you buy this Motrin, I'll throw in a coupon. You want it? And most times, people went for it because I was able to connect with them on a personal level. So I'd say my ability to connect with people personally, that one-on-one connection, I'd say that is, my reason for wanting to, pursue this career, if you will.
That is fantastic. And that connection to each individual person really just strengthens bonds and ultimately, right, sales and revenue and
Most
profit for
definitely.
organizations.
Yeah.
So having been in as a pharmacy tech and the other roles that you've previously been in, you've worked with different types of leadership, you've worked on different teams and different cultures. What are the cultures and leadership styles that you found really help you thrive and do your best work?
Oh, definitely being able to to have my input. I'd say I remember when I first started, I had a pharmacist who was very, very, not necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for? They weren't nitpicky, if you will, but everything had to be done by the book. And I just don't do well under under leadership who is like that. If you're not going to let me be expressive or suggest the way something to be done, as long as it gets done, I don't do well in environments like that. But I do well in environments where I'm able to have input. So if you ask me something, I'm going to give you an opinion and I'm going to tell you, hey, we can do it this way. It may not be the textbook way. It may not be the way that the people upstairs want us to do it, but I will see to it that it gets done.
That's fantastic and great to hear. So, as you're having conversations with hiring managers, recruiters, hiring teams, they want to know, right? What can you do for us, or what problems can you solve for our team or our company? And how would you respond to that?
Oh, that's easy. So, in order to solve a problem, I think you need to have more than one opinion. You can't just have the leaders. It can't just be them alone. It has to be everyone from the ground up. If you're gonna want to solve a problem in a company, you definitely need to have more than one opinion. I'm gonna come, give you my opinion, and if I think that it's something that we can execute, hey, let's get it done. So you definitely need an extra set of eyes and ears when it comes to solving problems. I feel more than one opinion is good. It's a good thing. Some people think otherwise, but I think it can be a good thing.
Absolutely. I mean, having that diverse range of opinion, especially one organizations and cultures that really value that diversity of opinion and thought is so important. And then add on the extra layer that you can connect with individuals so deeply in order to, be able to help move something forward, whether it's sales or whether it's an issue, a problem, is so important. And at the end of the day, there are certain things that are incredibly important to us that we can't really that we can't or won't budge on. So at the end of the day, what are those things that matter to you?
Let's see. So, I'd say one thing that matters most to me now is that it's gonna, build off of my last point. You're really gonna I really want to make sure that my voice, my opinion is heard. At this last role that I had, I was carrying that store on my back, and my voice really didn't matter. They just wanted me to show up, do the work, and leave. They did not care how I did the work. So I want to know that you are going to not only value my input, but that my voice is going to matter. And that's non negotiable for me.
100%. Again, these non-negotiables are so important to us. And it's important to go into organizations, right, that really value that and
Most
respect
definitely.
your values. Well, Jonathan Ace Akinwale, thank you again for coming on the Hire Me podcast. It was great talking to you and learning more
Likewise.
about you, your skills, and your experience, and the value of this personal connection that you'll bring into your next role. If you are watching or listening, make sure you connect with Jonathan through the links below in the video or in the show notes. And make sure you continue to subscribe, follow, and like all of our content here on the Hire Me podcast so we can continue elevating today's top talents. Take care.
All right. Take care, guys.